no, maybe, sort of, a little bit. Yes, okay, great, thank you. This is Marilyn, and it's time for Welcome to My World, the noon edition. It is about noon, a couple minutes past, on the 11th of January, and this is a Monday. So I thought I'd just take a couple of minutes to kind of go over some of the morning's happenings. We've got a lot of really nice trades, and I'm so glad to see all the success people are having with this iZone sharpshooter because it is really, really simple to use. So if you're new, I think Daryl is just right on the money here that you need to learn that first simply because it's the easiest. And if you follow the rules, I'm not saying you won't suffer a loss once in a while, but it won't be a very big one if you follow the rules, and you will be profitable. So this is really very nice. The indices have all given some nice trades this morning. They have been down, and then they turned around about, I don't know, 11 o'clock or so to go the other way. So there have been really nice trades on that. If anybody is looking for a currency that you want to learn to trade, today the 6C, which is the Canadian dollar futures, has definitely been the mover of the currencies today. It tends to trade in conjunction with crude oil. It is the commodity currency for crude oil because Canada's economy has a very large energy sector. So I thought I'd just mention that. This morning I talked about how the VIX closed Friday at one tick beyond 27, which is pretty darn high. The higher it goes, the VIX is the fear factor. The higher the VIX goes, the volatility index, the more likely that we are into a bit of a bear market. It has backed off a little bit. It's trading right now at 25.59. But the indices don't seem to be inclined to take a serious direction one way or the other. It sure doesn't mean that you can't get some really nice trades off of it if you're using virtually any of the Apex systems. So this morning, there were a couple things I wanted to show you on the charts. Crude oil came up here and hit settlement and has been in a down move ever since. One of the things I use this 30-minute chart for is to watch these 30-minute candles. This is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 hours of going down. When you see 3 hours of going down, nothing but going down, in order to take a long trade off of that, I would suggest that you get a very clear and present signal to do so because the trend is definitely short. We've had people sometimes ask in here, I'm looking for a long entry. I'm looking for a long entry. And when you see something like this, I'm kind of like, really? I need to see something clear and present that tells me it's changed. The bus driver has changed his mind. We also, I noticed somebody in here, we've had a lot of great comments, and it's so nice to have Daryl in here. Please take advantage of asking the major guru any questions. But somebody was talking about missing a trade and chasing it. Please, I am begging you, don't do that. When you get out in the street and you start trying to chase that bus, I can promise you I know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get blasted with a bunch of diesel right in your face from that bus driver, or else he will slam on the brakes, back right over you, flatten you like a pancake and then take off in the direction you wanted to go in the first place. When you have a temptation to chase a trade, just stand aside. The buses run all day. I promise there will be another bus. You will get another trade. There are trades happening all day. Don't force that and chase a trade. It it almost never ever works out. So get your trade planned, watch for your setups, and that's what we've been talking about a lot right here is to practice peeing. You have to pee a lot if you're going to trade. You have to be picky about your entries. You have to be patient with your trading if you want to be profitable, which is how you get paid. So try and keep that in mind. I am finding that I really like using, now keep in mind, I've used this 12-tick diagnostic crude oil chart for quite a while. But if you notice, this is a good lesson right here in what some chop looks like that you might not want to get into. There are a lot of major streets right here. We had the low of the day right here, the low of the last session, a deviation level, a swing, and the open, all right here in one spot. Bus drivers get real nervous right at this kind of when there's a lot of traffic and a lot of streets. So you need to understand that if you took this from up here, it's not, you don't need to necessarily get out, but expect that you're going to get chopped when you get to all this stuff. And sooner or later, the bus driver is going to make up their mind which way they're going. Well, this is telling you all this time which way is most likely. And this I-zone chart, I had to make my orange candles yellow because my vision was getting mixed up with the orange and the red, and it's just easier for me to see. But this is a great example right here. This trendar is dynamite. I mean, it usually takes me a little while, I think, to warm up to something new, but I love this trendar. Because if you remember in the video, one thing that's been made very, very, very clear is when the trendar flips above or below the zero line, that's the direction of the trade. So normally I would be sitting here looking at all this chop and yellow candles and all this bunch of stuff about the same time up here and thinking, I walk away from that. As far as I'm concerned, it's untradeable. However, when you look at this trendar right here and it has flipped below, if you recall on the video, you can take the trade with the trendar flip. And had you done so, that would have been a trade from about, say 32.25 down to, and keep in mind, the recommendation is that you trail your stop with the MVP 3 ticks above the MVP. You wouldn't have been stopped out all the way down here. I mean, it's at, what's that, at least down from 25 down to, say, 75. But if you are watching, these deviation levels went right down here to the -1 deviation level. Really, really, really nice. The other thing, we've had a lot of people trading NQ, and I put up an NQ chart here. The same thing, right here off of this buy zone. This is a red candle, and this is a yellow candle, but the trendar flip right here above. The yellow was above, so if you wanted to be cautious, but right here, this told you to take that thing up, and you could have taken it all the way up here, trailing with NVP, if you were 3 ticks away from that, you wouldn't have been stopped out. Been darn close to either being stopped out right here, or once it's put in this sell zone, just close out your trade right up in here. And the trend R flipped right up here. So this trend R is real easy to follow, and it's super good. At least sure looks like it to me. Tomorrow morning, we've got some news coming out. Let's see. Tomorrow is Tuesday. 8:30 is CAD news. 5:30 in the morning, for some reason that I can't quite grasp. One of the members of the Brain Trust, which would be one of the members of the Fed, is speaking at 5:30 in the morning. It must be some, I don't know, a really early talk show or breakfast meeting or something. But I'm not sure that that's going to move anything too much. But the Canadian news at 8:30 might give crude oil and the Canadian dollar a little bit of movement. So be careful. I've got a couple questions here, so this is a good time if you want explanations, and especially when we have Daryl in here. Let's see. Missed the webinar as there was a rule about trading with the trend R, but yes, that's exactly right, Jacob. The question is the rule about the trend R, but without the confirmation arrow. Something's the matter with my NQ chart. I had it. I had a couple of other things on there that, frankly, will do nothing but confuse you and me both. But what I would suggest to anybody, oh, good, John just put the link in for that. That's a very good video, and it's a little bit long. So don't take a look at that and say, oh, good grief, it goes on and on and on. No. Sit down and watch 15, 20, 30 minutes of it. Get a cup of coffee, come back, sit down, watch a little bit more, and make some notes, because what has helped me the most with any of these trading methods and systems is to have a cheat sheet, and I make a little abbreviated one that I can have right by my mouse. When I'm trying to learn one of these, I have got that right in front of me, and I look to make absolutely sure that I have every little thing. Now, you're going to miss some trades doing that. You are going to be slower. You're going to be not the very best you could be right then, because it's a learning curve. And if you will do that until those rules are so ingrained in your brain, it's like brushing your teeth. You don't stop and think about, gee, I wonder where my toothbrush is. Gee, I don't know what I did with my toothpaste. I'm not sure. No, you know that without even thinking about it. So it is very helpful to trade with the rules right smack in front of you, and make sure, use it like a checklist. Just go down. Okay, yes, I have this. Yes, I have this. No, I don't have this. Well, then I have to wait. And verbalize that to yourself, because it sinks it back into your brain. And that's what this is, trying to get this down to muscle memory, where you've got an eye-brain coordination on this. Somebody just posted the winning Powerball ticket. I guess we're all going to get to share in that. Yeah, wow. I mean, we are, aren't we? Oh, it's not winning. Okay, gee darn. Well, then we'll have to keep trading, so we make our own. Let's see. I don't see anything else. There is some economic news. If you are an evening trader, be sure you check the economic news on the Apex website. It's on the news tab because keep in mind the Nikkei, the Japanese market, opens around 6, and they will make announcements right after that. So if you're trading that UJ pair, you probably want to check that and know exactly what time that's coming out. Yeah, I love that, Hamindar. We're going to play the Apex Powerball. That's great. So, anyway, trade what you see. Do not buy into the talking heads and all their blither and blah, blah, blah. Look to see what your indicators are telling you on these charts. Make sure you've got your rules right in front of you. And when a setup comes, don't forget, you have to be patient. And boy, is that a killer. That is truly a killer in trading. But you just remind yourself over and over and over, and you will become more patient. And wait for the good stuff. I mean, you don't want the sort of, the hope and pray is not it. What you want is the really good stuff, matches all the rules, done. So I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon. This has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks.